Hello and welcome to Anime Memories, and on this episode, I'm going to be talking about Princess Jellyfish. I've been feeling pretty worn down recently, so when I was looking at my shelf, I started thinking about the kind of shows that would help cheer me up and pull me out of this massive rut I found myself in. It took a really long time because there was nothing that I wanted to watch. I was in one of those moods where I didn't want to do anything but vegetate. Even the simple act of putting in a DVD seemed like such a colossal pain in the ass. Then, just as I was about to give up, Princess Jellyfish popped out at me. It was absolutely perfect. It helped me shake off the tiredness and put me in a much better mood. So if you're in a rut like I was, feel free to just leave this video now and go watch it. But if you're still unsure if this anime's for you, please, stick around. I'd be happy to take you through it. The story follows Tsukimi, a self-confessed jellyfish otaku who lives in an all-girls apartment building called Amamizukon. The tenants spend their days obsessing over their favourite hobbies and avoiding their most fearsome enemy, the stylish. On one of her rare trips outside, Tsukimi comes into contact with this beautiful woman called Kuragehime. While Tsukimi is usually terrified of attractive people, this woman seems different somehow. So Tsukimi decides to invite this woman back to her apartment. And she turns out to be a man.
What a twist!
Despite her best efforts, Tsukimi cannot get Kuragehime to leave because he has become enthralled with the women of Amamizukon. So when redevelopment threatens to tear the building down, he does everything he can to try and save it. So I'll start off with the biggest positive that this show has going for it. The writing is fantastic. It's been a while since I found an anime with dialogue that's this well written. This is one of the reasons why the show was able to cheer me up so easily. The comedic writing is extremely clever and quick.
Who likes sweet herbs with their savory? Not this boy.
Boy? Oh boy! Oh boy, we're gonna eat some fancy meat and stuff tonight, oh boy! Doo-dong!
And when the anime wanted to be more heartfelt, the dialogue worked there as well. The only problem I had with the writing was that the ending felt abrupt and unsatisfying. It seems like there's so much more story to tell, but I guess with a niche show like this, a second season is unrealistic. Getting back to the positives though, this anime echoes a belief that I've had for so many years. You shouldn't judge people on their physical appearance. In the first episode, Tsukimi describes herself as a freak, someone so low on the totem pole that the popular crowd wouldn't even look at her twice. But when Kuragehime comes along, she realizes that she can get on with stylish people. If somebody's attractive or likes to dress in fancy clothes, that doesn't automatically mean that they're gonna be unapproachable. And on the same line of thought, if you see somebody that's dressed sloppily, that doesn't mean that they're unworthy of your respect. We're all people here. We all feel pain and we all go through hardships. Sometimes we get so caught up in our own differences that we forget that. You know, for a fairly goofy comedy, there's actually quite a lot you can take from this. And one of the themes that really resonated with me was the importance of personal growth. Getting stuck in the same routine and hanging out with the same people may seem safe and comfortable, but there will be so much in life that you'll never get a chance to experience. This is another draw of the anime. Both of our leads find themselves stuck in that exact same situation, and you get to follow them on this journey as they slowly start to venture outside their social bubbles. At the beginning, Tsukimi has this immense fear of society, which is a fairly common issue. I even had a serious case of social anxiety in my younger years. Her relatability makes it all the more fulfilling when she finally starts taking some risks. This does expose her to a lot more pain, but when the pain subsides, she comes out the other end a much happier and more confident person. Kuragehime, on the other hand, doesn't have any problems with social anxiety since he warms up to the Amamizu girls really quickly. His development is focused on learning to become more respectful of others. When he first rocks on up, he basically forces his way into the group without thinking of anybody else's feelings. This obviously backfires, but from that, he becomes much less selfish and begins looking at the women of Amamizu as actual people rather than a way to entertain himself. I will also say that I loved his backstory. It provides a very compelling explanation as to why he took to dressing in women's clothing, and it gives him this element of tragedy. When it comes to the supporting characters, while all of them are likeable and funny, Mayaya was the one I enjoyed watching the most. I found that the funniest moments in the anime for me often stemmed from something she said.
Die in the field to receive no burial! Do they think just because we're girls their super gayness will make us squeal with delight to have them as roommates?
Then we have Clara the Jellyfish. She is completely useless. She stops the show to tell you information that you already know, or information that you didn't need to know.
What are you looking at?
Wait a minute, are you a virgin?
Clara here. Coming in at #1 on this week's top 5 things you shouldn't ask the sisterhood is, are you a virgin?
So a group of introverts don't like being asked about their sex life? Well, yeah, no fucking shit. She's the only blemish in an otherwise impeccable cast. Now, while the story and characters are top notch, the technical aspects aren't anywhere near as impressive. The art style is bright and colourful, which matches the comedic dialogue, and it does look fairly nice. It just doesn't stand out at all. The visuals never really wowed me, it all just seemed kinda standard. The only noteworthy visual element was the character designs. I remember saying in a Reddit thread that Princess Jellyfish has some amazing character designs, and I truly believe that, especially when it comes to its female characters. Their designs complement their eccentric personalities, and they all look unique. You'll be hard pressed to find other anime with characters that look like this. Moving on to the sound, and like with the art, the music is just kinda standard. It's mostly just there, chilling in the background, doing whatever is necessary to create the correct atmosphere for each scene. It's quirky when the characters are joking around, and then it slows down and gets more emotional whenever there's drama going on. Now, I get that soundtracks are a bit overlooked. They play an integral role in every form of visual media. But I wish the songs in here could have been a bit more memorable. Something in the sound department that is more memorable though, is the dub. It has some of the best English voice acting I've ever heard. The characters are all incredibly outlandish and their voices fit them perfectly. Special mention has to go to Josh Greeley, who basically had to do 2 different versions of the same person. His feminine and masculine voices for Kuragehime are both distinct, and yet you can still tell that underneath everything, he's voicing the exact same character. I'm sure that the sub is very good as well, but I personally couldn't see myself watching this in anything other than English. Princess Jellyfish is a ton of fun. At times it feels like one of those dumb comedies where you can just switch your brain off and enjoy the shenanigans. However, if you choose to keep your brain switched on, you'll find a fair amount of depth. It has compelling characters, engrossing drama, and a very solid coming-of-age storyline. Regardless of whether you're a fan of comedy or drama, you should find something to like here. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you have any feedback, feel free to leave a comment, and if you like this video and want to see more, feel free to subscribe as well. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.